Hi, my name is Svenley and welcome to another gesture drawing critique video. This time we are going to look at Timothy's artwork. So let's jump right into the action. Reduce the opacity. Okay, so first of all, Timothy very good line quality, very confident strokes. So that's something you definitely want to keep. Let me see. Let me just start drawing over. See, pick a brush, you can see the lines better. This one has a nice leading edge. It's clear that the model is leaning in that direction. So good job there. Mm, let's see. Seems like the weight is more on this leg. Mm, no, since the model is leaning in this direction. Yeah, this one is a tricky one because she's leaning on this leg, but yet she's pushing this leg back, so there would be tension on both of the gluteus muscles there. See, put in the hips. And when we come to the legs feel they feel too much like a pipe to me, meaning that they are too fluid. They lack a sense of structure, essentially. And one way to remedy that is to contrast straights and curves. So the curve would be at the front, and then we have a curve at the back, most likely. And then you can use a straight or a straighter line at least to give a better sense of structure. So the curve uh, gives a sense of fluidity, and the straighter line gives a sense of structure, and that way you also have uh, more interesting shapes because of contrast. And of course this is just a simple lay-in. You can come back later and you can start, let's say, building the anatomy on top. You know, you can put in the calf muscles. So the straight and curve shape is just a beginning. It's just a basic lay-in for you to have a basis to design uh, interesting shapes upon. Okay, so let's see. Mm, the knee here. I think you did a good job with the legs. Only the the lack of structure was really a problem. Let's see. How does the shoulder connect? To when I draw the arms, I like to look for the shoulder blade and then draw the arm on top of that, or out of that, I should say. Because otherwise, it's easy to draw the arm out of joint or just in the wrong location. So I found that just drawing like a simple triangular shape for the shoulder blade helps overcome that problem. Okay, and then you can can come in there and build on the muscles on top. The other side I would do the same because you can see the arm because probably it's more like position T or something, but what you would most likely see is the shoulder blades sticking out. Mm, see, the neck feels a little off center here, meaning that it doesn't feel like it is attached properly in the proper place on the top of the rib cage. I think it would be something more like this. You would have the trapezius muscles at the back, have the ear at the side, ear on the other side. Yeah, so overall, this one was is pretty good. Just consider using or contrasting straights against curves to give your drawings a better balance of fluidity and structure, so it doesn't start feeling like a pipe with no structure in it. Let's look at this one. I like what you did here. I think you were trying to like connect the the torso with the shoulder and with the arm. I'm missing that in the other arm though. Meaning that I think this would work. Let's say we have, say the rib cage is bending like this. I would look for how does that flow into the other arm. And you will probably have something like this, and this arm's shooting out in that direction. Then you go around the shoulders like you did here and shoots out this way. And here again I have a long curve at the back of the arm there, and to contrast that and give it a sense of structure, I would put a straight or two straights at the front here. This arm goes over. I think the figure was like holding something. Let's see, maybe the same thing. Putting in some straights there to give a sense of structure. I'm wondering if the figure was like sitting on something, because if that is the case, I would have make that clear by drawing the contact point between uh, the hips and whatever surface the figure is sitting on, if that's the case at least. Because if the figure is sitting on, let's say, a chair or a wall or whatever, this right here would be an important event, so it's not something that you would want to miss. Uh, it's like a landmark, a checkpoint, you know, that you want to make sure that you hit when you are drawing the figure, because it helps tell the story of what's happening. And when you're doing gesture drawings, of course, accuracy and proportion, you know, structure, all of that, all of those aspects are important. But keep in mind that it's called gesture drawing, so your primary concern should be to capture the action, the vitality of the model. And for me, when I'm doing gesture drawings, you know, things like proportion and structure and all those things, as important as they all are secondary to the action for me. Meaning the major thing I'm concerned with is really capturing the action, the flow of energy of the figure. Let's see, his foot would come here, is touching the ground. also don't be afraid to draw some overlaps, because that help it helps create a sense of depth in your drawings. So let your lines overlap each other, like let the knee area overlap the lower leg here. It gives a better sense of depth. This would probably be hanging like this, and then this would be compressed, go over. That's the knee, and probably the calf muscle was flexed, since the model is since the figure is like uh, pushing on the floor with its foot. So again, these are like important events that I look for, because they help tell the story of the pose. You know, which muscles are flexed, which muscles are relaxed. Can you get a nice sense of contrast that it creates interest, and it helps tell the story. It helps you communicate more clearly what's happening. Let's see. Overall, the gesture of the head is pretty clear there for me. Let's see what more we've got. And here in the legs, yeah, the same problem is occurring. It becomes too fluid. It feels more like a pipe. It lacks a sense of structure. And one thing that you should balance is, or what one thing that you should do is uh, seek for a balance between structure and fluidity. Because if you go to either extremes, then your drawing can start becoming either too stiff or too fluid, like it's the case with these legs here. So come here. I would make this straighter on this side to contrast and balance what's happening here. And when dealing with the foot, take into account that the top of the foot is not convex, or it's not concave, it's convex, because remember that there is a bone here, and the bone is shaped like something like this. Don't recall exactly out of my head right now, but you have something like this, you know. So the top of the foot a is convex. It's not uh, concave. So something to keep in mind, definitely. Let's see. Photoshop stripping again. I think I'm just going to buy a new hard drive, because it seems like this lagging problem is because of the hard drive not functioning as it should. Let's see. Oh yeah, yeah. I would have like the kneecap there. Have the leg. I'm looking for what's the relationship between this leg and the other one at this side. Pushing back. There's the heel. So again, overall, your drawings have a good sense of rhythm. the only thing that you should do is balance those curves with uh, one more straighter lines uh, at the other end, so that your drawings have a nicer balance between fluidity and structure. I think this was a tricky one because of the foreshortening. Going over like this. Other hip would be somewhere. So overall, this drawing is pretty good. Again, just uh, incorporate some more straight or straighter lines at the opposite of the curves to give your drawings a better sense of structure. And remember the top of the foot. Like here, I see kind of the same problem, that the top of the foot is convex, goes like this. And of course, in some people, it will be more uh, evident, more prominent than others, and sometimes it's more subtle. But the bone structure, the shape of the bone is it has the same characteristics for everybody. So just keep that in mind, that it is a convex curve, not a concave one. Let's see, for the arm, I would again use the look for the shoulder blade and draw the arm from there. And the shoulder would be here. Then you would have the arm curving like this. Then the lats muscles. Yeah, overall that one is pretty good. Let's take a look at this one. Again, look for the big picture. Don't get too caught up in drawing all the bumps and all that stuff. Go for the big picture of what is happening. Seems like a figure. The hips right here. Over that. Bottom of the foot. Here again, I would use the shoulder blade to help me place the arm properly above the wrist there. Would have the lats. Then I would look for how the neck flows into the rest of the body. this one again, look for the shoulder blade. Very simple way to help you place the arms properly. And when dealing with the arms, take into account that the curve of the arm, especially of the upper arm, is at the back. So here you would have the major curve, then you would have a straighter line here. You would have a curve here again, and then here I would think. So the arm would be functioning like this. This would be the path of rhythm. And then maybe we have another curve here. You have the hand coming out in this direction, and would have the thumb, what have you. So rhythm through the arm would move like this. Go from here to here to here, like that. And this is really based on function. As I said in a previous video, the design of the human body is based on the principle of rhythm. So rhythm really is defining the function of the arm. Let's see. Again, I would look for what the shoulder blade is doing. The curve is at the back again. Drop a straighter line here, and then you can build from there. You can add the trapezius muscle, bicep, the forearm. Over tension here. Look for the hips, over the hips. This is pushing back. Straight or straighter line there. With the calves. Ankle there. And it seems from your drawing like the foot is coming this direction. At least that's the impression that I'm getting from it. Top of the foot. So again, contrast the curves with some straighter lines at the other side. It doesn't have to be a perfect straight. Just make sure that it's not as curved as this side, otherwise you start getting this like pipe effect, and the human body is not designed like this. This leg supporting the weight. Over. Just dropping a simple shape there for the leg. You did a pretty good job with placing with capturing the gesture of the head. Yeah. So yeah, overall, pretty good drawings, Timothy. Again, just remember contrast, straights and curves to create a better balance between fluidity and structure, and to help you design more interesting shapes into your figures. And remember to pay attention to the foot, and keep in mind that the top of the foot is a concave or a convex curve and not a concave one because of the bone structure in that area. Alright, so I hope this helps, and see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.